Today's episode is about hunting Izubr, the Manchurian Wapiti, during the rut. Here in Yakutia, the season opens at the start of September and closes on the last day of September. This is the time when, with the first frosts arriving, usually around mid-September, our Wapiti route begins. Today it's practically the end of September, but this year we're having very warm weather here in Yakutia. We're starting the hunt, but we're still not sure whether the rut has actually begun. The Wapiti likes to stay near the gullies of mountain streams, where there are cliffs and crags it can escape predators to. And we'll be doing the same, walking along the streams, through those rocky gullies, calling for the animal. And that's how our hunt is going to go. Well then, dear viewers, we wish ourselves good hunting, and you an enjoyable watch. The hunt has begun. We reach the hunting grounds by boat along the Lena River. This unusual September, whose start gave no hint of an Indian summer, has given us a real golden season. Beautiful weather, the beauty of the riverside scenery, and the anticipation of the hunting trails ahead create a light sense of euphoria and a wonderful mood. And the bright sun makes the autumn colors even more mesmerizing. In moments like these, you clearly understand that hunting isn't just about tracking an animal. It's a chance to see the world in all its variety and simply enjoy it. Well, that's how, in high spirits, our day of travel and the night before the hunt went by. The first morning of our hunt, having packed provisions for the day, we headed deep into the forest. With me are two young hunters. This is Ilya and Dennis. Today's probably going to be more of a scouting day. Scouting the terrain, checking for signs of game. Well, we'll see how it looks by the end of the day. All right, let's go. The rut of moose and wapiti in Yakutia starts around the same time, in the second half of September. Hunters usually plan and prepare around Semyon's Day, which falls on the 14th of September. The Izubr is a subspecies of red deer. In Yakutia, it's the second largest animal after the moose. Its body is a reddish-brown color with brown legs. Females are noticeably smaller than males. Its diet includes a variety of plant foods, grasses, fallen leaves, pine and spruce needles, tree shoots, mushrooms, lichens, berries, and so on. The Izubr is a very cautious and secretive animal, and only during the rutting season do the loud calls of the males give away their presence and whereabouts. Hunting them at this time is what's known as hunting the rut, or the roar. According to experienced hunters, the Wapiti rut plays out differently every year. Sometimes it's intense and ends quickly. Other times it drags on slowly. And sometimes, when the animal senses its most dangerous enemy, the wolf, you might not hear the bulls roar at all. In some years, the males respond readily to the hunter's calls and approach fearlessly, while in other years, you simply can't lure them out at all. Signs of bears everywhere. There's rosehip here too. This one over there is fresher. This one's also fresh, but either it's two different bears because the diet's different, or they came through at different times, but the freshness is the same. That dropping and that one over there, that red one, was probably from yesterday. This one's also completely fresh. Our bear marked its territory right here. Right here. See, it stands with its back to it and rubs against it here. It rubs like this right here.
Yeah, that's definitely a bear.
Yeah, and it does this too. Stands with its back to it. There.
Yeah, that's a bear.
And this one, isn't this a bear too? A young pine. Or moose, maybe. It's completely black. Well, there's more here too.
Yeah, this one's a bear too, wavy.
Ah, that's a bear too. There's some kind of regular spot there. Either it sits there, lies down, watches, or there's a permanent bedding spot there. It walks along the trail, but it only steps onto its regular spot in exactly the same place each time. There, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is still a small bear, not fully grown. But a really big master of the taiga has been through here. One crosswise mark, that's from a fang, made while standing with its back to the tree, and above it, marks from the claws. These two here. From time to time, I check the wind direction, since the gullies and ridges change the movement of the air depending on how they're shaped. So we've picked our ambush spot. This is where we'll sit and call the animal in. Why did we choose exactly this spot? Well, first of all, you can see well from here. Watch the approaches the animal might take. The spot has a clear line of fire to the left for about 400 meters. And to the right, about 340 meters. We already checked with a rangefinder, and there's a dry stream bed here, down at the bottom of the gorge, the gully, about 120 meters from us. I should say, I didn't choose this spot by chance. Last year, hunting in these parts, we found ourselves, so to speak, right in the middle of intense events happening during the Wapiti's mating season. We were heading home and decided to scout this area. It was also the end of September, but as you can see, snow had fallen. At first, one bull answered me. He was right behind the gully. You could hear him getting agitated, making noise, growling. Then another one joined our exchange, standing a bit further off, and then a third one too. It's hard to imagine just how many females were in the harems of these males. And that's when I decided we'd managed to find a spot where the males held their mating games and duels. In fact, that was the main reason we chose this location for the hunt this year. So, in Yakutia, we use several kinds of hunting calls. This particular call here was made by hunters from Olyokminsk, from the village of Tako. It's made of wood, cedar, and it holds these two rims made of birch bark. They're glued on here, in a couple of other spots too. So, the way this call works, you blow air in here, blow into it. Here we've got electrical tape, and glued on rubber, a rubber band. There. And here we've got these two little ridges on the sides to leave room for the band to vibrate. There. And by pulling this band tight, we can produce either high or lower sounds. There. And there's even a bit of artwork on it here. The guys burned an image of a roaring wapiti on this side and on the other side. There's a Yakut algae's blessing, and algaes is basically a farewell wish, a blessing for the hunter from Bayanai. There. And this call here was made by the hands of the well-known hunter Inokenti Lukin out of modern materials. It's a pipe from the heater of a UAZ, the kind that channels warm air to the windshield. This one's also kind of a modern take, you could say. They adapted a tube like this, and here we've got the mouthpiece. This mouthpiece here is made from a plastic pipe. Here's the reed, see, and a piece of wood's driven in here. The way the sound is produced, well, you press with your teeth on a certain spot. Depending on where you press, depending on where the teeth press, the pitch of the sound changes. And you also blow air in through here. There's actually a third kind of call, too. It's fundamentally different from these in that, with that kind of call, you need to breathe air in. Whereas with these, it's the opposite. Here we blow air out, but with that one, you have to breathe in. This is also an ancient type of call. It is mostly made from either wood or birch bark. Here, the mouthpiece is also made of birch bark. You blow into it just like this, and it produces an excellent sound. This is pieces of deer antler. But this is actually used when the wapiti is already approaching you, so that it believes that what it's hearing is genuine, that there really are males here, and they're testing their strength against each other. The sun's heading toward sunset, and it's time for us to head home. We didn't hear the long-awaited, drawn-out call of a bull wapiti today. The dark night that's fallen reminds us that Yakutia's short summer is coming to an end. On the second day, we decided to split into two groups. I'm heading out with the cameraman along yesterday's route, but going even further. Ilya and Dennis are taking a new route. In the morning, all the forest's inhabitants are busy with their affairs, but the one we're looking for is nowhere to be seen or heard. Leaving some of our gear at yesterday's spot, we head out light along the new route. A couple of words about the gear for this particular hunt. Generally speaking, of course, right now. It's usually cold for us around here, but this time, as you can see, the weather during the day is almost like summer. It's about plus 15, 16 degrees, but in the evening, when we head back, and at night, the temperatures already drop below freezing. So dressing appropriately is quite tricky. This suit I'm wearing here is a mountain hunting suit. This one, I should mention, was a gift from Edward Bendersky, a really good suit. It's quite comfortable during a hunt like this one, but by evening you end up needing to bundle up, so whatever we'd wear during the colder hours, we carry with us. There, you end up having to wear boots, because you have to cross various streams. There are even little bogs here and there. There. Well, that's the outfit. On me, today I'm carrying this poniazka. It's a device for carrying loads, used by the northern peoples, you could say. See, I've unclipped one side, and it comes off just like that. There, I've taken it off, see? These days they make it. Sometimes out of plywood. This poniaga is made from a thin board. There. Well, they come in different sizes, bigger, smaller. This is a fairly large one. One of the straps, this one on the left, is fixed in place and you can adjust its length. And the second one gets adjusted to match, but it goes on right here, that's all. Here you can see an axe strap to it. There's usually a loop here, and here it's tied like this, and in theory you can untie it really quickly, even like this from behind, and pull the axe out fast. Here you've got various ropes, loops sticking out everywhere, as you can see. You can carry quite a heavy load with this poniaga, because it fits really well against your back, against your hip joint. And, it's comfortable for carrying loads. It doesn't just press on your shoulders like a regular backpack. This is more like a frame backpack, you could say. There, people carry a sack, or here a cooking pot, a kettle, whatever you need. There. There's usually a small pouch that hangs here too. That's for autumn. When you're trapping fur, you put it in here so the branches don't damage the pelt. And it's always snowing, so this keeps the fur from losing its quality. That's the poniaga for you. It goes on really well, comfortably. So, we find this loop here and put it under your leg. That's it. It's ready to wear. These are actually today's tracks. There. There it is. There. Look. It's breaking apart. Yeah, a big hoof print. A pair went off in that direction. We're walking along a Wapiti trail. This is specifically a Wapiti trail. See, when they move around, they don't go far from the cliffs where there's somewhere to escape to. This is called an outstoi, a refuge spot. A refuge where this place is, where the animal can only approach it from one side. No one can come at it from the sides or from behind, including predators. Only one at a time along the trail can you get to this refuge. And a lone wolf, well, or even a single member of a wolf pack, the Wapiti can fend off with its antlers or hooves. That's how they survive. They walk around here, feed nearby, and they know it. They wear paths down to their refuges. They know exactly where this refuge is, these trails, and right here, constantly. They walk, feed, change location. Wherever they're feeding, that's how it works. Right here, a bull's been digging around. You sometimes find pits like this, where a bull relieves himself and then rolls around to soak up that scent. It's a call to the females, a signal, information about himself, his strength, his age. There. That's how natural selection works. Today, once again, we've had no luck, except that I saw tracks. But honestly, that's more of a minus for us, since the pair that left those tracks was within earshot of our call, and the male didn't answer, didn't take up the challenge. And with those not-so-optimistic thoughts, another day of hunting came to a close. On the third day, we decided to completely change our hunting spot and not tie ourselves to last year's experience. In the morning, we started climbing along a different stream. It feels like even the nature in this gully is different. There's a young cedar growing here. A bear's been digging around here, looking for roots to eat. There are more signs of Wapiti here. That's encouraging. try to use higher-pitched sounds, imitating young wapiti. Mature bulls have a lower, more trumpet-like voice. But if we call that way, it's unlikely any bold one would come running to test its strength and fight for the females. So we need to call with the voice of a young wapiti, one that's already starting to challenge its rivals. Wow, would you look at that? Tasty food. There's so much of this berry mush here, more than you'd know what to do with. This one here, was it a small moose that walked through? We're walking right along an animal trail. Snow's coming soon. And yet here we've got flowers in bloom. Our stream split, so the guys went straight ahead and I headed right along a different gully. For the first 2 days, we picked out a lookout spot like this, and our hunt was basically conducted from an ambush position, you could say. Today, we decided to change our tactics. We decided to switch to a mobile hunting style instead. That means we'll be walking without stopping, well, with small stops, but no ambush waiting. And for a hunt like this, you need soft clothing that doesn't make noise, doesn't rustle. Well, this outfit here fully meets the requirements for today's hunt. That's why I changed my clothes, and today, while walking, a tree with a hard life behind it. There were some big changes in its life. Suddenly, over the radio, the guys said the animal had answered them, and it was very close. I quickly gave the order to turn off the radio, so nothing random could interfere with the hunt. And here it is, the most nerve-wracking moment of the whole hunt. If the guys make even the slightest mistake, everything could fall apart. And the main thing is, right now, there's nothing I can do to help them. They have to apply everything we, the older ones, taught them. Of course, they've taken game before, but today's hunt is nothing like that. This isn't a driven hunt, not hunting with dogs, where the animal's attention is drawn to something else. Here, if it senses even the slightest falseness in the calling, hears an off sound, it'll simply leave. So what about the wind? Let's check the wind. Here it's blowing in this direction, but in that gully it could easily blow right toward their backs. So what should they do then? Will they manage it? Shots. Now we can turn the radio back on. And 5 seconds later, the guys said they'd gotten the animal. Well done. After congratulating them and thanking Bayanai, I advised them not to touch the animal yet. It needs to rest for a couple of hours. This is done because if you field dress it too soon, the wapiti fat left in the meat's veins tends to solidify quickly, even while it's still hot. A fine bowl. So, come on. Tell me how it happened.
We were down there below. We started calling, and it answered right away. It answered really close by. It was really, really close, right? About 150 meters, I'd guess. And over there, it's this dense forest. You can't see anything. We went back down. We called, walked around. And then, right where there's some moss, a bright little clearing, we climbed up there, and we sat there. We called maybe 3 times. It didn't answer, not even once. Then out of the corner of my eye, it came out from over there. It came out, stood there, looking around. Well, then it came a little closer. It walked, stopped, somewhere over there, right there. We fired at it, and it ran this way, and then we fired again. It went down.
Yeah, great job, you two. You lived up to expectations. And I was right to worry about the wind. But the first thing they did was figure out it was blowing toward their backs in the direction of the animal. So they moved uphill to keep their scent carried off to the side. Good thing we trained them well. The age here, well, about 5 years old. Our hunt has come to an end. These are the last days of September now. We think the Wapiti's rut is also coming to an end right about now. We timed the hunt well this year. In the first few days, we chose the tactic of ambushing the animal, calling and sitting and waiting at lookout spots like these. Today, we chose the tactic of a mobile hunt, and it turned out to be the right call. On one of the streams, the animal answered, came running, and our guys managed to take this fine wapiti. Dear viewers, we say goodbye. Farewell until we meet again.